Okay, welcome to We'll Sleep When We're Dead.
Welcome.
Hi.
It's been so long since it's just been the two of us, just
It's
catching up.
been so long. Spring break was like a month long between the two of us. So,
It really was.
yeah,
It
like,
was a long period of time. And I had a realization this morning, actually last night when I was going to bed, that I had not slept a full night in 3 weeks and a day. Because the last time that I slept was like sometime during spring break, was like the one night. And I was really, just reflecting on that last night. And then
grumpy about it.
I wasn't that grumpy because I finally accepted that like there's seasons and chapters, which I'm grateful that I've accepted. And I really have you to thank for that because you remind me of that often. And this podcast reminds me of that often because I feel like every guest tells us that. So I was reflecting on it. And then last night, first night, we slept through
She
the night.
slept. Oh
She
my
slept
gosh.
all the way to
Piper,
6.
but that's okay. Piper
I'm
has been
taking it.
pulling a Ruby and deciding to just party in the middle of the night.
Party, cry, all the things. So,
And I
she
hate
has.
it too because when you've been texting me, I just feel so like everybody else who texts me with newborn stuff, I feel pretty confident. Like I was a really good sleep trainer. I like loved breastfeeding, but like I felt like I could find some solutions. Like even my sister was freaking out about flying and I was like, "Oh my gosh, don't forget suckers." Like that's like
Yeah.
the best thing for whatever. When you were texting me, I literally just was like, "I have zero help for you, zero answers. Ruby did this for months." Like it's like literally one of the most frustrating things.
It's
This
so
3-year-old.
frustrating. And we've done everything the
Yep.
internet says to do.
Yep.
Every single
Yep.
thing. Actually, like Kevin and I were telling our friends about it last night and giggling because it's like so absurd how many things that we've tried. So I will laugh if what I did last night could have solved it 3 weeks ago.
Oh my
I'll
gosh,
let
I
you
can't
know.
wait.
I'm thinking it's probably just a one-time thing, and I'll let you know in the morning tomorrow when we don't sleep.
Okay.
But, there have been nights lately where I'm like, I'm not doing the like trying to get her to go back to sleep for 2 hours because we did that for 2 solid weeks, doing what the internet says, which is like not speaking to them outside of saying it's time for bed and walking them back into their bed.
Yeah.
I did that for hours on end, multiple nights in a row.
Yeah,
Did not
doesn't
work. She didn't
Yep.
care.
Yeah.
So there have been many nights now where she's waking me up at 2 a.m. and I just go into her twin bed and we're just sleeping in her twin bed together because it's the only way for anyone
Yep.
to get any sleep.
Yep.
However, in this time period of doing this, I recognize that like you have joked with me about how awful of a sleeper I am and how restless I am. I like, toss my
Yeah.
body around
You're
all
like
night.
a cat jumping off of countertops when you're sleeping. It's
But it
unbelievable.
should come as no surprise. I have created a spawn that does the exact same thing. Even
Oh,
the way
no.
she settles her body down for the night is like it's like freaky. Like she ultimately
Really?
ends up on her stomach with her like hands under her, which is like how I end up putting myself to sleep. Isn't that weird?
But it takes her a while to get there.
But it takes her forever to get there.
Yeah.
Like forever. It's just like me. So it's like, I get it, sis. Like, I get what you're going through. But in all this to say, she has now, in the last like 3 nights that I've been in her bed with her, rolled off of her bed. Now, granted, it's only like a foot
Yeah.
off the ground, like 3 times in a row, like in an hour. She's like tossed herself off of her bed.
Okay.
And so I'm like, what about those bumper things that I
Yeah.
had in Henry's bed that like just go under the sheet and keep them
Yes.
from falling off? So I put that on her bed last night. So she didn't ever fall out. When she came down this morning, she was incredulous with me. She's like, I couldn't even get out of my bed.
Oh
And
my
I'm
God.
like, first of all, it's like 2 inches of foam. I'm pretty sure
Right.
you can just
Right.
climb over that. But also like that was the point. You couldn't fall out of your bed and have that wake you up.
Amazing. Okay, well, I'm going to say
We're going to see.
it's the
We're going to
answer.
see. I bet tomorrow I'll be like, yep, that didn't do anything. And she was probably just so tired from all of the restlessness.
Oh,
But
it's
I'll
such
take
a
it.
hard
One
chapter.
night in 3 weeks and a day.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's really,
So
really
all
bad.
that to say, we keep reiterating there's a reason that we called the podcast this. And we do have a sleep consultant coming on soon, guys. I know
I'm
that
so
we've been
excited.
asking. We chatted with her. She's excited. We're excited. She has so
Right.
many great insights that she's ready to share with everyone. So anyone else that's struggling with a baby or a toddler, I think you're going to get a lot of comfort from that. So
And then
keep
we
on
need to
listening
find an adult sleep consultant to talk about
to talk
because
to me.
holy moly.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, we're doing a little catch up now, and then at the back half of this episode, we just have, let's call
Silly.
it like a screen grab of culture right now that we're talking about, which I think should be really fun. So we have two guests that we interviewed to talk to us about the wild trend with millennial moms that is Mahjong. And I will give my experience with it after we kind of catch up for a little bit because it's just so silly and so on
Mhm.
brand for me. But I think it will just be a fun little, very not serious capture into what we hear a lot of our millennial moms are doing for fun these days. So, anyways, stay tuned for
And
that. But
to no one's surprise, I've never played it, and at the time of that recording, Lucy hadn't, but then
I
she's
also haven't.
since been, which
Now I
is why
have.
this is gonna be so great.
Ugh,
And you know me, I'm like, once things get too popular and too cool, I'm like, I can't be a part of
you
that.
can't hop on now. So, you really can't. Dying to hear about this. You had such a grand trip in terms of like
We had the
experience.
absolute best spring break, except for
You getting
the
deathly ill.
well, I got food poisoning at one of my favorite restaurants in San Francisco. So that was horrible. And then, so we had 10 days. We went to San Francisco for 4 and then LA for 5.
And for those of you that don't remember, Sam lived in San Francisco
I d-
for
for like seven
a
years.
beautiful period of time.
Isla
Was it
was
7
born.
years?
Yeah, Isla was
No way.
born there. It's such a special place in Kyle and I's heart. So, also, little quickly about Kyle and I think we've talked a lot about it on here. Like, we love to vacation, but we don't vacation often with our kids, sadly. We
Mhm.
just like, we'll go to Florida. So, like, our kids have been on lots of flights, but the longest flight is like 2 hours to Florida, 2 hours to Indiana. That's like literally all we ever do.
Yeah.
So, there was like a little anxiety of like, oh my gosh, I've never been on a flight for 6 solid hours, like 6 hours flying time with 3 kids. But, like, for anyone also listening, I can't believe I'm here because I'm like, it was so easy. Like, I forget that I have big kids. I have a 3.5-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old. It
Oh,
just
they
was
are
like
big kids.
they're big kids, and, like, I just sometimes you forget, and I just, like, loved being in that moment of just being like, I read a book again. I've not read a book on an airplane in 5 years. Like, normally, all moms know we are, like, the punching bag of the
Mhm,
airplane ride.
mhm.
So just like logistically, everything went well. The girls didn't adjust to sleep until day 2 or only had 2 days of adjustments. They got up at 4 a.m., only 2 days. Like it just was really lovely.
Yeah.
Explored San Francisco. But the whole reason why we did this trip was to go
Really,
to
here we go.
Harry Potter World for my firstborn princess and then
Mhm.
Disney.
The Mecca, the
And
parenting Mecca.
I am not sure if I could be as honest as I want to be because Lucy just is not it for me. It's not it for me. It's not it for my girls. If you love it, by all means, love it. But like literally by day 2, Kyle was like, where's the magic? I'm like,
We were it was lost.
it just was not what we thought. It was not bad, but it just was like we knew going into it that we weren't super, and just in general, like we don't love crowds. We don't love lines. We don't love being super hot. We don't love a lot of what, like, we don't do these kinds of things often.
That feels like everything I've heard about Disney is those things listed off.
Yeah. And like, also, I don't know what it is about growing up feeling so much more in tune with Disney, but we also aren't super Disney people in our house.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the shows we watch aren't even that Disney. They're more like Gabby's Dollhouse. Like, I don't know. So we also just like really weren't aware of everything going on besides Elsa and Anna, which
Yeah.
is we had an amazing Anna moment. Like,
Ugh.
best advice somebody very dear friend Michelle gave me was at 10 a.m. You have 3 surprise princesses. Go in the line right away because it'll get really long. So we did that at 9:30. She had the best advice. Finley is wearing Elsa. Ruby's wearing Anna. You don't know what 3 princesses you get. You go into this cute little thing and you turn the corner and there's a princess. And the first princess not only was Anna, but Ruby was wearing the exact same dress as her.
Oh
It
my
was like
gosh.
that
That's
10 minutes.
magical.
Yeah, that
That
10
was the what?
minutes.
That was your 10 minutes of magic
Yep,
over those
that
3
was
days.
magic. Except because my 3 kids are unhinged, then my middle one, Finley, because she was dressed as Elsa, proceeded to cry for an hour because we didn't
Oh,
make
good.
Elsa come. Where's Elsa? Where's Elsa? We never saw Elsa, and she was dressed up as Elsa. So she thinks in her head, like, we created that Anna experience because,
Just for
so
Ruby.
Ruby got Anna. She didn't there was just so much of that. And I don't know, like, I'm glad we did it, but out of the 10 days, our girls' behavior was probably the worst at Disney. Like,
Mhm.
by day 2 at noon, because we stayed Kyle's brother was very nice and got us a hookup at the Disney hotel. And they were like, we just want to go back and swim. And we went back and swam at the Disney hotel for like 3 hours and like no fighting. The girls were happy. They were like, got the big Mickey Mouse ice cream thing. And like, there was just like, I don't know, something about the fact that there's three. Also,
Yeah.
PSA for all you threes out there, Disney is really hard with three kids and only two parents because every ride,
That's a good
every
point. I didn't think
e
about that.
every ride is a two-seater, and if you have your oldest is tall enough to ride by themselves, they let you, but if you also have an oldest like mine who's scared of roller coasters that will not ride by themselves,
So
you
what did
can't
you do?
so I can't go with Isla, and Kyle can't go with Finley because you can't leave Ruby by herself.
What she's just gonna hang out
I
by
mean,
the
you could,
stroller.
yeah. I mean, Ruby, like, I'll give you my takeaway in a minute, and it like makes so much sense with my three kids. But there was just so much of that rigmarole of like, okay, well, I'll wait. And so everyone's like, oh, you just do the rider switch. Like it's this easy thing. Well, none of the rides exit where they enter. So even though we got the fast pass lane, which is expensive, you send Kyle and Isla in. Ruby and Finley and I wait, but they exit at a different location. So it's a 25-minute experience. And then they have to come back to the entrance and then they wait with Ruby while I enter with Finley. So just one ride is like a 45-minute experience instead of like a 20-minute experience. And then like you pay all this money for the fast pass and you can only go on it once. So like
Mm.
Finley loved roller coasters, like Thunder Mountain, loved. So she gets the fast pass and she goes on it and she's like, I want to go again. And we're like, okay, we have to wait an hour. Like, I don't
Oh,
know what
so
else
the
to.
fast pass doesn't work for a second time. You can only use it
No, it's
once
just
for that
one
one
time.
ride.
So like what kind of hurt us was we went to Universal the first day.
Which is Harry
Harry
Potter?
Harry Potter World for my firstborn,
Okay.
Isla. Amazing. I have zero complaints about Harry Potter World. Versal, you buy the fast pass and you can go as many times as you want. And that was amazing. Because Isla, we learned, does not like roller coasters. Finley loves it. Zero surprise there.
Yep.
There was like a really
Second
cool,
born's built different, I will always say. Uh-huh.
there was a really cool Harry Potter ride. Not the if you've been, not the like theatrical one, more of just like the classic roller coaster. We spin, we go fast.
Oh,
Finley went
fun.
on that. I'm not exaggerating, 8 times because we had the fast pass. So that ride was that pass was so much fun. Disney, you spend all this money and you can only go once, or you have to wait in the long line. And then like it was just a lot of that. It was a lot of like, we're hungry. Oh, you go on the app, everything is like an hour and a half wait. I just like, I don't know. I think at the ages that we went, even Isla was like, "It's not it." This is my best way of describing it.
Oh, no.
We've now been home a week, and not a single one of them have talked about it. Not at all. Like, "Hey, remember when we saw Anna?" Or "Remember how cool?" I mean, Harry Potter World is not Disney, and that we have talked about. But like, again, Kyle looked at me, and we both were like, "Nope." And then he goes, "I would kind of be surprised if we both were like, this is it." I mean, at one point, I literally was like, I'm only waiting 20 minutes in line for a ski slope. Like, I don't know. Like, I waited 45 minutes for the only roller coaster at Disney for Ruby to go on, and it was 23 seconds long. And I'm just like, I don't know. It was just a lot. I love that
Do you
people
feel
love
like
it.
different ages would be different? Do you feel like Disney World would be different than Disneyland, or is it all kind of just like the experience is just gonna be a no for you?
I think World I've heard is bigger, so it feels less crowded. I have this like not good view that like Disney pumps in way more people than it should just to make it look crowded. Because that was my other thing. It's like at every moment, like the fact that it was more crowded than we even anticipated is like a not a good news for Sam and Kyle. Like
Yeah.
everything was just so much work. And it's just
Yeah.
like not a single parent. You know who's having a lot of fun? Disney adults. You could see the joy, but every other parent is like lugging a kid, tired,
Yeah.
this, and like
Someone needs a snack, someone needs to go to the bathroom, someone
yeah,
doesn't
it
wanna
just was
wait.
yeah, I think older kids, like I had a friend tell us that they brought their like 10 and 12-year-old. They both like roller coasters. They got the fast pass. They didn't care about the characters and they just like went for the rides. That experience, like so much fun, especially
Yeah.
if you live there and you don't have to pay for a hotel. You just drive up, you
Yep.
go. Like I can totally see why people in California and Florida go to Disney all the time. But
Yeah.
for us, hands down, would rather spend 3 days on a ski slope for
Yep.
almost the same cost because like, so my takeaway at the end is Isla's, we know this about her, but she's so incredibly hard to please. The entire 3 days, I love her dearly, but she's so particular. She was so scared of roller coasters. It was a lot for her,
Yeah.
not her jam.
Yep.
Finley, all Finley needs is a roller coaster. So I will just
To
take her
take
to
her to
like a
Kings
Six
Island,
Flags. Yep.
Six Flags. Uh-huh.
She wants to go fast and crazy at all times with her hands up. Like she is my child. I'm obsessed because I love roller coasters. Okay. Ruby, just happy to be at the party. And we know that. We bought her that 40
Happy to be literally wherever she is. So,
wherever she is. We bought her the crazy expensive bubble maker, the Little
yeah,
Mermaid bubble maker. Happy as a clam. Couldn't be
all she need
bothered to do anything.
all she needed. You could have shipped her that on Amazon and put her out at a park and she would have been just as happy.
Percent. So it's great. We did it. My parents live in Florida. I've already told them if you want to take them down for a day, I don't get it.
But you know what? You did it. And you
I
had
did it.
that. I was going to say you had that core memory, but it sounds like it was almost a core memory for no one. So,
hmm 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 Yeah. I mean, even people asked the other day, Isla, how is Disney? It was okay. Like she is Kyle Romer,
oh,
218.
she's so hard to please.
She is.
And she wears it all on her face too. So you're like, well, I've deeply disappointed this child.
She wears the face like me because I have 1,000 faces. Even Kyle was like putting her to bed and said something, expecting her to have a great reaction. I forget what it was. We had done something really fun and she was like, it was okay. And I go, Kyle, you're looking in a mirror. Like, we can go to the nicest restaurant that you've ever been to that you've wanted to go to. And at the end of the meal, I ask you, how was it? And you will literally say, it was fine. They are, I mean, and I'm over here doing the dog and pony show to make everybody
Oh my
happy. And now I
gosh.
have an 8-year-old that I can't make happy and a husband that is just like, I don't know. It's
Oh
wild.
my
It's
gosh.
so wild. So anyway, that was my take. Glad we did it. Had the best trip ever.
Good.
Love traveling now. I like want to go everywhere with my kids, which is such a good thing for me to feel,
I know.
but
If you
just
flash
not
back
Disney.
to a year ago, Sam's experience was always like, Lucy, why do you want to go anywhere with your kids?
Why would you do that? So anyway, but I had to
Oh
share. I
my
couldn't
gosh.
wait.
Oh, so
Okay,
fun.
so then
Well,
when I was at Disney, you got invited to Mahjong, and it's so timely because we have this wonderful Mahjong episode, and you were just like
I did.
texting
And I
me,
texted you while you were on your trip. I was like, you're never going to believe what I'm doing tonight.
and I need to
And
hear like the quick recap
yeah.
because you said it's so silly.
Well, it was so silly in the sense I mentioned it actually on the Madeline episode last week that learning something new as an adult is very hard. I find it to be something that I don't actually like prefer doing because it's really hard to show up to be like, I'm actually not good at this at all. And it's like going to take a long period of time. I will just say the quick recap is the funniest thing that happened was that the place that I was invited, there was no address on it. And I had other girlfriends going too. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not going to like reach out and ask for the address. I'll just ask one of them to like pick me up and take me. So I texted my friend. I was like, hey, are you still good to pick to pick me up? And she's like, yeah, sure. And I'm texting. I'm like, yeah, uh, what time are we supposed to be there? Because I was like, I feel like we're cutting it kind of close, like just assuming that we were going to have a bit of a drive. So she picks me up. She picks me up. We go to the first stop sign in our neighborhood and she turns right. And I'm like, wait, she lives in this neighborhood? And she's like, yeah. Not kidding. This person lives 10 houses away from me.
Oh my gosh.
And I literally could not stop laughing. I was like, if anyone knows me like you, I will walk anywhere. I'll walk
Anywhere.
5 miles to just not inconvenience someone. And so
Right.
for them to have asked a friend to pick me up to drive 10 houses was just like the funniest thing.
So silly.
We get there and it's giving the context of the fact that I hadn't slept in 3 weeks, I think helps, is that I was hoping to get to a friend's house to like do a practice session or whatever at some point beforehand. But the reality was that was not going to happen because I was not sleeping at night. We were trying to do all this stuff. So I had been trying to learn Mahjong via YouTube at like 2 a.m. for the last few weeks. Yes, I would, when, Piper was having such a hard time going to bed, I would bring my AirPods up there. I would just like pat her back and be on YouTube, trying to like learn how to play Mahjong with And let me tell you, that only goes so far. Like there are so many rules. There are so many rules that I literally like, I would be like, that's just dumb that that's a rule.
Right.
And they're
Right.
like,
Why do I have to
yeah,
follow
but it's
that rule?
actually been a rule for hundreds of years for all these people that have played Mahjong. So like you saying it's dumb is not going to be that helpful. The first round, I was like, I think I have it. I was like, I think I have it. And I had a very experienced woman next to me that was like helping us, play it. And she looks at my tiles and she's like, no,
Not even
no.
close.
And that's when I was like, I couldn't feel more like an idiot. Like I was like, okay, then I don't understand at all what I'm doing here. Like I'm so far from knowing how to win this. And I saw this meme yesterday that was like, Mahjong is all about laughing over the Charleston. And like all these Mahjong words that I'm like, I still don't know what any of those mean.
Any of them
Like,
mean.
I still don't. And I think but here's the takeaway. But it was also so fun. Like
Yeah.
it was really, really fun. It is like we talk about it with the women that you're going to listen to next. Like it's a good brain challenge. Like
Yeah.
it's really good for you to it's like an up-leveled version of cards,
Yeah.
where
I
there's
love
like
cards. And you
love
love cards.
cards.
We love
I
cards.
love cards, but this is like so much harder to learn
Yeah.
than like a
But
euchre
also,
or something
like,
like that.
knowing you, when you're doing a task that is mundane, you wanna get done with it so quickly. Like,
As
nobody
fast as
wants to be
humanly possible.
like, you'll be, like, making like, I'll never forget that lasagna recipe that you were like, "I just whipped up," and I'm just imagining you're, like, ratatouilleing it in the because that took me 4 hours, and you were you just nobody wants to be done with the process and get a result faster than Lucy, and that's why you're so good at what you do because you get such good results. So the fact that, you already thought round 1 you had it is, the most Lucy thing
Mhm.
ever because people that I know, they go to, mahjong meetups, and it takes them, 7 meetups just to learn how to play. And, you show up watching a YouTube video and just being like,
I
"I
was
think
like, I
I
think I
got
have
it."
it. I think I have it. I'm like convinced. I am convinced that I have it. Oh, yeah. Someone won Mahjong that night that had played for an entire year and had never gotten one.
Yeah, right.
Like, so just the audacity that I would show up and think that I had it when I don't even
So
know, like,
good.
how you do the deal and how
Yeah,
you, like, the jokers are
no idea what you're talking
hard.
about
Like,
right
there's
now.
so many
Yeah.
things that I still don't know. So, I'm going to the next one. I'm, like, committed now because
Good.
it's really fun. It's a lot of women in my neighborhood, so I
Yeah.
met a lot of new people that I hadn't played with. One of my friends was like, "I was trying to get your attention during it and, like, kept looking over, but you were just, like, really dialed in." I'm like, "I was dialed in because I have never felt more like an idiot in my
Yeah.
entire life than me, like, picking up." I'd be like, "Call, pass, pass." I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to be passing or if I should be picking that up. At one point, the woman was like, "Which line are you going for?" And I was like, "I'm not sure." So I don't think I'm gonna win this one.
I mean, I feel like that's what we chat about in this episode too of why has it become so popular?
Yeah.
It's an amazing social thing.
Yes.
Learning something new is fun. I think they also mention you're not on your phone, which any
You're
chance you can
not.
not be on your phone is so fun. I
Well,
say
and I
this a lot
couldn't
in the
get over
episode.
how much time had passed. Someone was like, "It's 9:45," and I was like, "It's 9:45? I need to be, like, getting my skincare on and going to bed right now,"
Right.
but I had no
Right.
idea,
Because you had
So,
fun. Yeah. I think
so fun.
that's yeah. Oh
So
my gosh. I
anyways, it
love
was
that.
just actually so timely because I knew we were gonna be releasing this episode, so fun that I got to play it. So all of you Maj people, I think that's, like, the cool way to say it. I get it
You
now,
Mosh people.
and also I don't think I'll ever be good at it, but it was a fun process. So,
Oh my
Sam,
gosh.
once you
I loved that.
come sometime, we'll make you play with us. But
But
it'll be good.
I'm so intercompetitive, so, that whole idea of, not being good at something, I don't mind
That's what
not
I'm saying. That's why it's
I don't
hard. Learning
I don't
something that you're not good at is, like, the worst.
so then what I fear about the mahjong is that I'm gonna get too into it, and I don't have time for that right now. When I have time, I'm gonna do it, but, I am so
No,
much
I'm just like, I'm committed to not being good at it and just, like,
yeah.
trying to have fun with it.
My
It's like
gosh.
when I tried to learn how to swim last year for the triathlon. That was so embarrassing. Going
Yeah.
to the pool at 7 a.m.
That
and
was
having the lifeguard be like, "Do you want some pointers?" Like, that is not
and he
okay
was,
when you're
16.
he was, like, 16, and I am 38. So, thank you so much to Jamie from Meet at Maj and my friend Sue Ellen Anderson, who did such an amazing job of explaining the game to us,
Yeah.
explaining why people love it. Such a fun conversation. So, hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah. Alright, thanks, bye. Bad news, friends. I have been doing my best to edit this video because if you all didn't know, I do edit all of the videos. And we had issues with recording and uploading while we were doing this, but I wasn't quite sure in the moment if we were going to make it work. And now that I am editing it, the audio and the video just are not the quality and standard for us to be able to release, which is such a bummer. It was a really fun chat. Mahjong is obviously all the rage right now, and especially if you are in the Indy, Zionsville area, please be sure to go to Meet at Maj or check it out They are doing such great things there. It's such a fun opportunity to play, meet people, shop, because it's also a boutique. So please be sure to check out Meet at Maj. Thank you again to Jamie and Sue Ellen. And don't you worry, we will continue to update you on Lucy's Maj journey because you bet she'll probably be back next week to try to win again. Anyway, hope you loved the little informal chat, and we will be back next week with a great episode. Thanks, friends.